Hello, everyone. First, I want to, thank everyone for coming today to celebrate the life of my wife, Aujalen. Um, I'm gonna try to. Obviously, I could speak for hours and for days, but I'm gonna try to keep it real efficient. I just want to speak on maybe a couple memories and maybe give a better idea on where she was at and where we were at as one. Um, our hopes are not to just the life that we've lived and the position we find ourselves in. It's completely been selfless and outside of us, and with the hopes to guide and motivate and inspire others. So just want to share some memories and maybe give a better feel to where we were at as one and where she was at as a woman. So I got to start off with when I met her, how we met. Maybe some of you all have heard the story. Um, so we were playing in a tournament here in Marion. Coach McCollum was coaching. Jalen and Gerard, we were on the same team. It was a summer tournament, this is a summer outdoor tournament. We ended up winning the championship. During the championship, at the timeouts and halftime, I noticed a young lady that was shooting around at halftime and at timeouts, and kind of had my eye on her the whole time. Come to find out, she had her eye on me as well. My sister Marion and my mom was at the game, and Aujalen noticed them cheering, and kind of rooting me on. She didn't have any idea who they were, so she was kind of being nosy and scooted towards them just to kind of see who they were. So following the game, um, the little brother Jalen, which many of y'all probably know, he wanted my SIU basketball shorts. So okay, this is my opportunity to kind of shoot my shot. So okay, I'll give you my shorts, but you gotta give your sister my phone number. So definitely gotta thank Jalen for throwing me that lob, and I think it's safe to say I caught it and went through the legs. So yeah, thank you to Jalen and definitely all the family for accepting me right away. Before I even got to Kokomo, she reached out to me, and the next night or two, I was in Marion spending time at their house. Yeah, so ever since then, we've pretty much been connected and been living together and been traveling the world. Um, as some of you may know, we pretty much for about 8 years, we've been living overseas, traveling the world, living in different countries, able to really immerse ourselves in different cultures and just so many different precious experiences that we are fortunate enough to experience over the years. Another memory and something that she was very proud of. We were living in Czechoslovakia, Hungary. This was my rookie year. We were there, but we ended up finding ourselves there my third year. So some of you may know we do a lot of community work, throughout the years. And there was one of the young boys who played on the younger team. His mom invited us to come and kind of tour their school and just get a feel for their school there in Hungary. So we went through the school, met the teachers. Barely any of them spoke English, but we had found ourselves in those situations quite a bit. So so we connected with a lot of people, and following the tour of the school, we were sitting down with the principal in the office, and right there on the spot, I remember the principal. She said, degrees and certificates aren't what makes a good teacher. It's the presence and just the person in themselves and their personality. So right there on the spot, she offered her a job, to begin teaching in a whole different country in Hungary, and that's something that she was very proud of. And she was probably the only African American female to teach in Hungary, but I'm assuming probably the only African American to teach in that country ever. So that's something that she was very proud of, and I was proud of her as well. I feel like that speaks, for just the energy she has and the presence she had, and just really just how vibrant she was. She was real receiving to people and uh, listened and was always in tune with everyone. So I feel like that opportunity came out of nowhere, but it speaks for who she was. Um, Another memory, we were living in Morocco, so living in West Africa. And early in our career, we always talked about, most of our career has been in Europe, different countries, but early on, since the beginning, we always talked about we want to go play Africa one day. That was one of our goals. More so down the line in my career, but it ended up coming to us sooner than what we thought. So to be able to live in West Africa and um, begin what we call our spiritual journey and our self-discovery journey of gaining a better understanding of ourselves and just beginning our own healing practice as individuals and as one. It was very special to begin that in Africa, and that's something that when someone always asks us, what was our favorite country, that's our go-to every time. So another story that I've never really shared about our time in Morocco. Uh, so we were there for 7 months, and this was 2019. And we kind of, believe it or not, we kind of experienced the pandemic a year early in our own journey. So we were living in Africa. The team I was with, there was a bunch of problems in the federation. They weren't paying us. We didn't have very many games. So we really found ourselves in Africa just pretty much. We already had a lot of free time because I was playing ball. She was supporting me, taking care of home. So we found ourselves with even more free time. So um, like I said, that was probably the toughest stretch for us, but it was really the most special stretch. So it came time for us to leave, and um, some of you probably have traveled internationally. So we were going through customs, and usually when we're overseas, the teams, they take care of all the paperwork, as far as visas and all that. But for whatever reason, this team was very unprofessional and didn't do so. So we're going through customs, and I'm ahead of her, so I kind of make my way through the little kiosk, and I'm waiting there right. I'm not going ahead. I'm waiting there right for her. She's going through the process of them checking her passport and her paperwork, and they end up holding her, and they're trying to push me through, and I'm like, I'm not going nowhere without my wife. So come to find out, we found ourselves in a position where we were pretty much locked up abroad. So they forced us to stay in the country. We couldn't leave for like another month. So, but with her, she was always down for the whole ride. No matter what we experienced, no matter what we went through. To me, that spoke for, she could have been, panicking or upset or, calling a family, but we didn't even tell any of our family, because we didn't want to worry them. But to me, that speaks for, just her commitment to our relationship, and obviously there's plenty more ways that she showed that and we showed that to each other, but that really showed that, and obviously this was later on in my career, my 7th or 8th year, but that showed me, she's really, which I already knew, she's really down for whatever, and there's a lot that comes in this lifestyle of being an athlete and being an entrepreneur, doing a lot of community work, a lot of nonprofit work. So it could really test you, but through all the tests, she never showed anything but pure loyalty, and that's something I always hold on, and that's something that we reciprocated towards each other the whole time. Um, so yeah, we following Morocco, came back here, and the last 2 years we've been here in America for more time than we have in the whole 8-year stretch. So had a chance to really find ourselves as individuals and as a couple in other ways. So like I stated early, we've positioned ourselves through both of our careers, because some of you may know she was a caregiver, and she has been doing that since high school, So another story about her, and how she found her passion and her love within that field. She was in high school, and she was just going through her CNA certification, and She started her first day of clinicals, I believe it's called, and she was working in a nursing home. And I forget the old lady's name that she was taking care of, but this is her first day. So she goes into the nursing home. She's helping the lady out, getting her. The lady said she was thirsty, so she left the room to go get her something to drink. She comes back and the lady passed away. And this is her first day in clinical, first day on the job, and ever since then, that's where that passion and that commitment and that just that love of taking care of others and especially elders, that's where that kind of began developing, So that's a story that she just told me in the last probably 4 or 5 years. So I think that speaks for definitely how she developed her love for being a nurse and taking care of others, especially the elderly. So, I believe that, her being, and this all speaks to, just the energy that she comes off with and the presence that she has, and I feel like we all should strive for, is doing what we love and doing what we're passionate about and combining that with, her traveling the world and us being in these different cultures and really immersing ourselves in these different cultures, that continue to grow her understanding and acceptance of people, all people, no matter the religion, no matter the race, the age, it really, she really, and we really try to understand and accept everyone and treat everyone the same and really listen and that's why, on a daily basis, there's so many people that are sent across both of our paths that we're able to help and guide throughout the day. So it's been very, very special. That as well as, just being servant leaders. Every time we come back in the country, our commitment has been towards different communities that we're a part of, So I believe those three things, finding what you love and what you're passionate about, and it might not be your first love, or the first thing you dreamed of as a kid, but, finding yourself doing something that you love and where you feel that sense of purpose and every day is meaningful, that's important, and that combined with understanding and accepting all people and then just thinking, how can I serve? How can I help someone else? Every opportunity that we've had, or as long as we've been together, we went out of our way to serve others, and whether it's people or being in the pool, and this might sound crazy to some, like being in the pool and saving insects, So it comes to the little things like that that really make a difference, So I feel like that speaks for the presence that she's in and that I'm in, and I'm gonna continue to build for us. And then my last thing, about 4 years ago, right before we went to Africa, we realized it was a time when we really needed to, up until that point, we've just been on the go, just full experience and so in the moment and never really had time to reflect, but being in that situation in Africa, it really gave us a chance to reflect back and kind of put everything together and make everything make sense and develop a deeper understanding of ourselves as a woman, as a man, and us as one, So the end of 2018, early 2019, right when we arrived to Africa, that's when we really started our journey of self-discovery, self-understanding, and just our healing journey, as individuals and as one, So that's another thing that I'll continue to share, because that journey lasted, and it's still going on, but it really lasted all the way up until her final days, and everybody's journey is different, and me being the closest person to her, knowing her very, very intimately, it's like I'm very, very proud of the just how committed and how invested she was to really understanding herself, and that started with us assessing ourselves and gaining understanding of where we are as an individual, how we can become a better man or a better woman, and how can we become better for each other, and then it extended to our family, and let's look at our parents and our grandparents and see what life they lived and how they experienced life and what they've been through and the shortcomings they've experienced and have built through or haven't, So, there's, although this is, there's there's definitely a void in me. There's definitely some emptiness now. But in a way, I'm a little bit more fulfilled. And that's due to her spirit and the spirit that we developed and the emotion work that we did within each other. And we've done a lot of work, and now I'm prepared, and we were prepared the day that she transitioned, the exact day. And it might sound crazy, but it just shows how aligned we were with ourselves and with that divine spirit. The morning that she transitioned was the morning we were announcing our new podcast. So it's kind of set up to where I feel like now it's on me to continue to honor her and carry on her legacy, and I didn't let up a day. Since this happened, I haven't let up, and I know she wouldn't expect anything different. And she would expect for me to push forward and to use our life and our journey as we plan to, and even to use this experience to to find the reasoning behind it. Because that's another thing and I know some people are on both sides of this, but we've lived a life to where we've been able to put reason behind every single thing that we've experienced, whether the good or the unfortunate. So I know she wouldn't expect me to do anything other than not necessarily maybe be able to put the reasoning behind this immediately, but now my journey will be to show the reasoning behind this, and what potential we have from this, and the lives and the impact and the community that we can continue to develop from the journey we've lived. So man, again, thank you for everyone who came. Man, this is the toughest thing for me to this point has been looking at pictures, so it's kind of tough for me, because a lot of the pictures that we've shared a lot over the years, but there's so many experiences and moments that we didn't, so when I'm looking through my phone, I haven't even looked through my phone, but, I know that, in due time, I'll be able to go back, and there's so many pictures and so many videos and so many things that I'll be able to have for myself and our family, and be able to use to share, ultimately to help others. So thank you all for allowing me to share. I appreciate it, and much love to everyone who came.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say, really appreciate